What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. So in today's video, I want to talk a little bit about raw gold, because there's a lot of people who plays on these full pop PvP realms where a lot of the videos that's getting thrown out on YouTube, the gold per hour isn't realistic for them. In fact, they will be better off farming raw gold. Now, I'm in a different situation because I picked my realm back in the days on purpose to be a PvE realm, not as populated, because I wanted to avoid like server crashes, queues, and I also knew that steady farms would yield a higher gold per hour. So I don't necessarily need to do raw gold, because I can do simple farms such as Frostweave and Ember Silk farming, and it's going to get me twice as much as doing raw gold. But in this video, I want to talk a little bit about the options that's out there, the farms that people are doing, and what I prefer to do personally in terms of raw gold. So before we do that, I do have to say a massive thank you for all the support on the complete gold guide for Mist of Pandaria Classic. This is a digital gold guide that you open up on your computer, and it features all the best tactics and methods that I'm personally using in order to make a lot of gold on MoP Classic. So if you don't have it already, make sure to check it out. It's going to be linked down below in the description. And if you use the discount code Studen, you also get it for 50% off. Now, there's a lot of different ways to make raw gold. A lot of people are just doing daily quests, like that's it. And oh boy, is there a lot of daily quests to be done in MoP. And now the most diehard people that's going ham on the MoP, they're already getting to the point where they're pretty close to Exalted with most of the factions. And then they're going to get the recommendation that yields some reputation increased by 100% for all of their characters. So a lot of them are also working on their alts. But it does produce like an okay amount of gold. And it's like you do it for different reasons as well. You do it to obtain patterns and plans and gear upgrades and whatnot. So it makes sense to do daily quests. Just because you also get other stuff on top of just the gold from doing the quest. But from just a raw gold perspective, there's a lot of better ways of making gold with farming. And that's the thing. There's so many different people doing so many different raw gold farms, and I think that is perfectly fine, because you got to stick to whatever you enjoy doing. There's no point in farming, let's say, Nax Ramus, which is one of the more popular raw gold farms, farming Wrath of Lich King Nax Ramus, and it's the one that tends to yield the highest amount of raw gold as well, where people are getting as much as 5,000 gold per hour running Nax Ramus with a decently fast tune. And also, if you have tailoring, you're going to get more Frostweave Cloth, which yields you more gold as well. But there's a lot of other options out there. Like, my personal favorite would be to run Karazhan. And you can run Karazhan in two different ways. You either do like I'm doing right here in this clip. This is me on a balance druid running in cat form, because balance is horrible in Karazhan, because you constantly get stunned and interrupt it. But you either do what I'm doing in this clip right here, which is basically just pulling all of the trash and avoiding killing any of the bosses. That means that once you've cleared out all the trash, you can go out of the raid, reset instances, and then you can go back into the raid and clear out all of these mobs again. So that's a super solid way of making gold, and it is the best way on my realm to make gold running Karazhan, because I have an okay price on like Netherweave Cloth, and I can disenchant the green items. And I'm going to make more gold doing that than actually just vendoring the items. The only exception is if I get like trash epic items from the trash mobs. It's better to vendor those than to disenchant them due to the void crystals being so cheap. But other than that, it's going to be more value for me to just disenchant everything. So the disenchanting mats and also Netherweave Cloth makes it not just 250 gold per run, but it makes it closer to 500 gold per run with those materials, making it very, very good. Now, if you have very bad prices at that, you're still going to make decent gold doing this and vendoring it over killing bosses, because you get locked out as soon as you kill a boss, so you can't do it for as long as you want to. But it is, if you don't play a class that has good mobility, that can pull the entire dungeon or raid, all the trash at least, and AoE it down, you're going to be better off just doing Karazhan as it was meant to be. Like, just going ahead and just pulling absolutely, like, all of the bosses, kill everything, just clear out the entire raid, rather than just focusing on the trash. And then you have some other hipster ways of making gold. Like, one of the most popular ways outside of Nax, if you want to farm raw gold and you have the gear for it, would be to do the dungeon Grimbatul, right? Like, that's the most popular thing to do. And instead of jumping on the drakes, you just go and kill the mobs so you can loot the mobs as well. So running Grimbatul, if you have a well-geared toon, is very, very decent amount, like a method to make it gold, and highly recommended to do so. And you shouldn't laugh about the other TBC raids as well, because a lot of the TBC raids, they have a chance at giving you battle pets, and some of the battle pets are still fetching very good gold. So that's like an additional RNG element of the already raw gold that you're getting from running it. You also have people running like Cataclysm raids, not the bosses, but just the trash. So the most popular ones would be Firelands and the Bastion of Twilight. And you do those two with the Potion of Treasure Finding on for additional raw gold and also additional materials. And those are very popular. It's like, I prefer Bastion of Twilight. It is like the easiest farm ever. You literally just walk in and then you clear out the mobs ahead of the first boss. You run back out, reset the raid, and then you go again. And you do that 10 times an hour, and it's very fast, and it yields a very decent amount of gold. Firelands is also the same. You just gotta avoid the bosses when you're doing it. But it is a bit tricky, though, if you don't have gear and you don't have the correct class in order to do so. But both are very valid methods. That being said, Karazhan is by far the most, if we can call it, chill or even a noob-friendly way in order to get raw gold, because you don't need to do any specific tactics of going in as 25 man and then setting it to 10 man and all of that. No professions are needed. You can just go in, you choose, do you want to kill the bosses for increased raw gold, or do you want to just clear out the trash for good raw gold, but also get like a bunch of cloth and disenchant materials if you have enchanting, that is. If you don't have enchanting, it's not that much of a difference if you just vendor the green items, but there is a lot of green items. So that is my thoughts on raw gold farming. I definitely see how raw gold has a place in Mist of Pandaria Classic, but luckily there are better methods, at least on my realm, in order to make it gold. So with that being said, that's pretty much it. Now, I do have a lot of Mist of Pandaria Classic gold making videos coming up though, so if you're not subscribed already, make sure to do so. That way you'll be notified whenever the next video goes live. And of course, don't forget to check out the complete gold guide for Mist of Pandaria Classic, linked down below. I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you all back in at tomorrow's video. Bye bye.